Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 must-haves for a no makeup look, and I'm also going to be using the products today so you can see them in action and see how I use them to fit that more natural look. So before we get into it, I'd love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me, and let's get to it. So I like to start off with a skin tint. The one that I have been relying on the most recently has been the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body. I'm using the shade N1 today. I did recently rank all of my skin tints that I've tried, so you can check out that video to see all the ones that I love and the ones that I dislike. I'll have that link down below or in the cards up above here. I just wanted to give another example. This is another one that's fantastic for no makeup looks. It's the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. I currently have the wrong shade for where my skin's at right now, and my local drugstores are still sold out of the shade I need, so I will be using this one today. And I really enjoy this one because I can kind of customize the coverage if I'm needing to. Like, for example, if I want to build up the coverage over here, I can, but overall it looks very, very natural and undetectable on my skin. So I'm just going to take some on my fingertips and I'm going to start rubbing it in, and the more you rub, the more coverage it adds. You don't feel like it's going to do anything, but all of a sudden it thickens up. It's like magic. It's truly incredible. And I'm doing this just in the areas where I have a bit more scarring, so I have more of a filtered effect. This is going to subtly correct your redness and your imperfections while not covering them fully. They'll still kind of show through, but your skin will look more even and truly filtered. And here's the skin tint on. It looks lovely as per usual. I just love how this one adds a touch of radiance to your skin, a little bit of glow that's nothing too crazy or unnatural looking. So now it's time to move on to under eyes, and I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix in the shade Butter 05. This is a must-have for me in my no makeup looks. It just subtly corrects your under eyes while still letting them shine through in a flattering way, which may sound weird to a few of you, but I personally really like that look, that I look a little tired but still really cute. I don't know, it's a vibe. It's a certain vibe, and I know it's a hit or miss for some people, but I think for a no makeup look, you want to have something under your eyes. I think it's really going to tie the look together. I'm just applying some to the inner and outer, and I first like to press it in the general area, and I also take it up in this section here. I'll bring you guys in a little closer. I like to press it up in this little nook to brighten that up, and then I'm going to take my beauty blender and just help blend the rest. And there we are, so it's brightened but still see-through. So now for powder, I'm going to be using my Annabelle Perfect Matte, and this one's great because I can use it under my eyes or all over the face, and I like how this one is truly translucent, so it doesn't add another layer of tint to my skin, it just sets my makeup. I'm just putting that under my eyes for the moment because I am going to be using some cream products and I don't want that to interfere with the powder. And this powder is super blurring, so it adds another filter to your under eyes and makes you ultimately look less tired as well, I found. But now let's move on to bronzer, and I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I love this stuff through and through. So firstly, the color is perfect. It's like a nice bronzer tone, but it does have that neutralness in there, so it slightly contours at the same time. And this formula is very, very sheer, so it just subtly sculpts. And lastly, it's very long wearing because once it's applied, it kind of dries down to this powdery state, so it just stays put, and it's fantastic. I'm using my Melt 777 brush, and I like to start on my forehead just so I can get a feel for the product. Sometimes you can pick up a little bit more if you're heavy-handed like me. Oh, I forgot to mention the shade I'm using. I'm using the shade Tan Lines. And I'm putting the rest of whatever's left on my brush on my cheekbones just because it hits like a more natural bronzing area. So this is where we're at right now. I'm actually skipping highlighter because I find that when you add highlighter, it can be a dead giveaway that you're wearing makeup. It can just bring everything to a level too far from a no makeup look, so I like to forego that step. Plus I have an oilier skin type, so in about 20 minutes it's going to look like I'm wearing highlighter anyways. So I'm going to move on to blush now, and I don't have any strict go-to blush shades, so I usually reach for blushes in tones that I would naturally turn to, whether I'm blushing, whether the cold has nipped my cheeks, if I'm sunburnt, or if I'm suntanned. I go for any color within that range. Today I'm going to be using my Rare Beauty Nearly Neutral Blush, and similar to the e.l.f. Cosmetics bronzer, this one does set down to a powdery texture, so it does stay on a really long time. It's also very sheer. You can build it up, of course, but it's perfect just to get a sheer veil of color. And this is a great shade because it looks like a mixture of a suntan shade and a mini sunburn color. It's one of my favorite go-to blushes for this type of look, and I'm going to apply that with my BMX Accentuate brush from Moda Pro, and I'm going to apply it right here, so a little bit under my eyes, kind of in a placement where I would naturally get hit with color. So the last thing I'm going to be doing to my complexion is adding freckles. This is my favorite thing to do with these types of looks. I feel incomplete without a few faux frecks. So I'm going to be using my little freck and I'm going to be adding a couple concentrated around my nose area, but you can go all out if you'd like. I just want a few today. I kind of fibbed when I said it was going to be my last complexion step. I'm actually taking my powder once again, and I'm going to set the center of my face. Since I do have an oilier skin type, I'm going to let the outskirts of my face be, but I'm just going to set my cheeks, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. So I decided to skip anything brow related because I think brow stuff is very subjective. Some people don't need to do anything to their brows. Some people need to use like 6 products. So do whatever you like to do to your brows. I'm going to quickly do mine off camera, so please enjoy the brow intermission. So now moving on to my eyes, I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy. I'm just going to slightly contour them so they kind of pop out more. I'm going to be using a lighter neutral shade for my skin tone. This one's from Pat McGrath Labs. It's the shade Statuesque. It's one of the eye dolls. This one's in rough condition. I once tried to depot it. Yeah. Another shade that's very, very similar is this one from the Melt Cosmetics mini stack. They're pretty much the exact same color. I just swatched them. This one's the Melt one, and this is Pat McGrath. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This one is a Smith 232, and I'm going to dust this into my crease very lightly. That was a bit too much. I'm just going to take a little bit more time blending that out and flicking it outwards. I'm then going to take a tiny brush. This is a Anastasia A14. It's just a little detailer one. And I'm going to contour my eye bag just to make my eyes seem bigger. And this is very optional, but you can take a tiny angled brush and you can draw a little line right on your lashes just to kind of make your lash line up here thicker. And if things get a little too pigmented, you can take your powder once again and you can lightly go over it, and it should diffuse it and take it down ever so slightly. While I was doing my brows, I curled the heck out of my lashes. I tend to squeeze my lashes a bit harder with these more natural looks because I want my lashes to be a big focal point. For my mascara, I'm going to be using my ColourPop Level Up Lengthening Mascara in the shade Brown. Now, this is a really nice mascara. I've been really enjoying it. When you apply it like a normal one, it really lengthens your lashes, but I love how it's a brown color. It's obviously a lot softer than black. And I'm mostly adding this to my lashes because I do have naturally longer lashes, but the tips of them are very, very fine and they appear blonde. So my natural lashes look stubbier than they actually are. So I'm really trying to cover the tips of them to bring them out. So I'm going to take my mascara. I'm going to do a couple of passes. You can apply it full on if you'd like. I just like taking a clean spoolie and kind of removing all of it. And I'm wiping in between a few strokes just so that I'm not spreading the product and removing a majority of it. I just basically want my lashes to look like I tinted them. I'm just gonna try to lightly apply a thin layer on my lowers. I apply a little bit more on the outer few just so that my eyes are pulled out a bit more. And this is a great one if you do end up messing up because it's really easy to flick off once it dries up. And here are the eyes all done, just very, very simple. And when you're zoomed out, it doesn't even look like you're wearing anything. So now let's move on to lips and then we're finished. So for my lips, I do like to add a bit more structure. So I'm going to be using a lip liner that's very close to my natural lip color. And the specific one I'm going to be using today is the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner in the shade Fawn. Plus this is a great formula. I almost dropped it there. Because it doesn't add like a harsh line around your lips. It's very soft. So it sculpts, but it still is very diffused. It's amazing. So I'm just gonna hit the very edge of my lip just to make them pop a little bit. And sometimes I call it quits there and I add a clear gloss, but your lips are never naturally glossy like that. So I have been opting for this shade right here from NARS. It's the shade Intimate in the Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balms. It's perfect for this. And I just tap it on so I don't add too much, but it's a very similar shade to my natural lip color. It just evens my natural lip color out and it also suits the blush perfectly. I like to add a little bit more. Since this is a lip balm, it is going to sink into your lips a little bit and kind of disappear and soften. So immediately it looks like a little bit much, but it softens out very quickly. But there we have it. Those were my 10 must-haves for a no makeup look, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them in action. Let me know if you'd like to see this video again, but with like a different category, like my 10 must-haves for a night out look or whatever it may be. Date night look. I'm not going on many dates right now, but I can pretend. But that is all from me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, please like this video. It would help me out so very much. I will of course link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.